Hey everybody. Welcome to the show, everyone. This is Mike with Dornlock Tips. We're talking about tailpieces, the different tailpieces for best type cylinders. These are the small format IC core. Small format. And they have a couple of little barb holes in the back of them. Hey guys, if you stay till the end, I'll show you how to put some spacers in these holes to adapt your shorter tailpieces when you're in a pinch and you don't have the longer ones. Let's get back to the show. One's a 6 and one's a 7, and we're going to be covering the 4 types of tailpieces that exist for 90% of all the locks you'll run into. And this is one of them. So let's get into the show. Here's the tailpieces. They're different sizes. Notice the 6 and the 7 are marked on those tailpieces that are longer and shorter. And then on this far left-hand side, you have these type of tailpieces that are the twister type, and on the far right a twister type. And then these little spacers is going to save you in a pinch, because if you don't have the proper tailpiece length for your lock, you're not going to be able to pull it off. When you put the key in, the cylinder will just spin. So let's get into this show. You're going to love to see these things. Here are the tailpieces all laid out, and then we have the cylinders. So these are best style cylinders, small format. One is a 7. These are 7 pins if you count them, and one is a 6. So the difference is 1 chamber length. Most people are using 6-pin cylinders, so that kind of distinguishes the tailpiece. You have a 6 and you have a 7, and the difference between these two are the length of the lock. See the difference there? In order for your tailpiece to engage in your lock, they have to have a longer tailpiece. So this right here, got them stuck down, fits right in the back, and you notice they're kind of hard to do. They really are hard. So you're going to need to adjust them just slightly, because they're coming out of a punch press. And when you adjust that, they'll slide right in. You're going to be glad if you stay till the end. I'm going to show you just why you need to use these spacers that are setting down there on that yellow pad. See them little teeny things? You're going to love to see why you need to use them. Stay till the end. You get to see it. So you have to do some adjusting. You might even have to do some grinding, especially on these twist type. Notice these are flat. And this one, if the prongs are flat, you've got it the other direction. You're going to run into some locks that is the case. So now the key's correct and the prongs are sideways. So if the prongs are sideways, you stick this bad boy in. Now the tailpiece is vertical. So the key's correct and the tailpiece is vertical, and some locks need to have that. Whereas if you have the flat ones, now it's horizontal when the key's in the right position. So you got to buy an assortment of these things, guys. You got to get a bunch of them. You need them for your stock. You're just going to have a bunch of them, and some are longer than others. Some are 7-pin and some are 6. And then you have springs that kind of do what these little pins do. So let's see what we're going to do with these pins. If you get yourself in a pinch And all you have is this shorter tailpiece. And by the way, these two flat ones will cover about 95% of everything, 90%. So what if this is too short? What are you going to do? If you bend these out or something, it might hold it for a while, but what if it slides back in? Well, I'm going to show you a trick right now that will make this so easy you won't believe it. You probably already guessed it. Here's what we're going to do. If you need a longer tailpiece and you only have the shorter one, you're going to take your longest top driver pin in a universal pinning kit, and you're going to slide it right down in there. This is so cool. And you're going to slide it right down in there. Now watch what happens. You put this in, and it didn't work. Oh, that isn't good, right? That's bad. So you're going to have to get a couple more pins. All right, here's our pins. That's the ones you want, the 195T. You want them top pins. So you get a couple more of these pins out of your universal lab kit, which you really must have. These are pretty inexpensive, a couple hundred, maybe $275, and then you'll have every pin known to man. You won't really have all the springs and all the stuff. You won't have pinning tweezers, but you will have an assortment of pins, and I highly recommend the .003. Yeah, this is a great pinning kit, and the diameter is 115. That's what you need. Okay, it didn't quite work, did it? So we take that back out. We stick in a couple more pins. One there. And one there. Now let's try it again. Now you're out. That may be all you need, guys, to make this happen. You may need that extra length, and that's how you do it. You just drop some pins from your standard pinning kit in the back of the best small format IC core, any knockoff or any real brand of best cylinder, and you have got it made. So that's what you do. You drop some pins in there. If you need longer tailpiece, and you will need them. All right, now let's say we have the longer cylinder, and would you really need 2 pins in there for the longer cylinder? You really don't. That longer cylinder is correct, right? So you're not going to need to space out the longer cylinder. You're just going to need different size tailpieces for it. So I highly recommend you stock up on these things. They're not that much money. You can even get them from Amazon. Highly recommend them. And then this is a general twist. It's pretty well built. Look at how nicely built that is. And this is made by American Lock. These are great too. They have a spring built into them, so it's kind of acting like my spacer. When you shove this in the back here, you have a short cylinder. Looky here, it's spring loaded. It's not really working that great, but you just need something to engage the lock. That's all. Highly recommend these. Have these in your arsenal. You've got to have these, guys. There's no way you're going to make it without having an assortment of tailpieces. Now they make all kinds of tailpieces for these small format IC cores, all kinds of flavors. So when you're thinking about buying stuff, look into the tailpieces for these, because every lock has its own tailpiece kind of associated with these small formats, and you will be happier than going out on the job and saying, man, I stick in the key and it spins and spins and I can't get it to engage. I stuck it in the cylinder or in the lock and it won't work. What happened? Well, you don't have a tailpiece. It looks like it's that time again to hit that like button, subscribe, tell your friends. Oh, let's get back to the video. So here's one of the locks. It already has a tailpiece in there. Now these locks are general locks, so it's kind of an inexpensive lock. But if you don't have a tailpiece in there, which is way down in there, if you don't have a tailpiece, you stick in your cylinder and oh, I gotta get it in right. Now remember, you're gonna turn the key. Let's do this a little safer. You put your key in. Well, this will already be pinned. So this one is not pinned. But look at how nice that goes in there. Isn't that sweet? And the tailpiece is engaged. Now watch this. Take in my key. Now watch that latch. It works. There you have it, guys. Get yourself some tailpieces. Get some pins, get some tailpieces. You won't go wrong. You can get them from Amazon. You can get them from your suppliers. They're not that much money. But then again, when you don't have one, they become very expensive, don't they? Yeah. So there we have it. Mike Walker with door and lock tips. Please smash that like button. Smash it. We'll have more good stuff like this coming your way in the future. Ooh, yeah. Aren't these cool? Oh, don't want to drop them. There you have it, guys. Bye. Here's the tailpieces. They're different sizes. They're marked